Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. Coming up, what does Bitcoin have to do with Moby Dick?
Also, what is Donald Trump claiming explodes?
All that and more on the way next. It is with heavy hearts that we have to acknowledge that Duo, the Duolingo owl, has passed away. Have you ever used Duolingo?
I have. I not in a long time, but last year, at the beginning of last year, I was like, one of those optimistic people that was like, yep, I'm going to learn a new language. I'm going to do it. And I did it for probably about 50 days or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I was like, I'm not really learning anything. I'm done.
Well, you were successfully able to escape the grips of Duo the owl then.
Apparently.
Because it sounds like for years, he has instilled fear into the hearts of many at the danger of missing a Duolingo lesson, and the threat of Duo the owl coming after you has been enough to paralyze many.
Yeah.
And now it sounds like according to Duolingo, they don't know who did this and they're looking into it. But I don't know. It sounds like maybe they finally just offed him.
Oh, maybe it's them.
I feel like it could be an inside job.
We got a conspiracy going here.
I feel like it's kind of a mafia thing. I think he was kind of like a mafia boss. And I think that they took him out, like it's somebody from within. And
it's a mob hit.
Just somebody just as bad will emerge next as the new face of Duolingo.
So what do we think it will be as far as animal wise? What do you think they would go for?
What's an animal that would be
Because I think the owl, they chose the owl because it's like, the owl's so wise.
Yeah,
it knows all the languages.
They want to teach you. I think it may not be an actual animal at all. I think it could be some kind of mythical creature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it could be I think like a mammoth.
A mammoth?
I think it could be a mammoth.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would.
think mammoths have the capability to be very callous towards others. And so they would be, a mammoth would be the kind of thing that would take out the owl. But then they're also so fuzzy and woolly that they seem lovable.
Sure.
And so no one would suspect.
Yeah. But
also very domineering.
I think you're on the right track, though, because I don't know about mammoths, but elephants are super smart.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and they never forget.
So maybe that is on the right track of what a good replacement would be as far as an animal. So woolly mammoth or an elephant, maybe they could call it Ellie or something like
Ellie,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ella.
Or Ella.
Ella would be, I feel like that's trendy now. Would be Ella
it is a popular
elephant.
name. My niece is named Ella.
Yeah, and be a female spokes elephant. I think that could be.
Yep.
I think there could be something there, but it is. I mean, this is actually Duolingo says it's all they literally admit it's a marketing thing.
Yes, it is.
But they did kill off the owl, which has been a meme for a long time that people are afraid of the owl.
Right.
That the owl will come after you if you miss a couple lessons. Hasn't stopped my mom. She was literally doing German lessons on Duolingo during the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yes. I haven't heard her use any German other than that.
Yeah.
But she does get the lessons done every night.
And that's the thing is it's I do feel like the lessons are nice and they're, compact and all of that. But I just felt like I wasn't actually learning anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm excited to see what replaces the Duo owl. I got to be honest, I wasn't the person that was scared of the owl.
You weren't afraid?
So I'm a little sad.
You escaped its clutches so quickly.
Yeah, but it was more because I felt like I was wasting my time than anything else.
Oh, don't let the owl hear that. Duo would not want to hear that, even from beyond, from the great beyond. Here we are doing Would You Rather Wednesday. Today's question with Valentine's Day coming up. Would you rather find out you have a secret admirer or have to do a long-distance relationship for a while? We have some people chiming in like Robert, who says, I'll take secret admirer. No guarantee that will become a relationship. An interesting way to put it. He says long distance is too much with many complications.
Yeah. Okay.
But I get what you're saying, Robert. Susanna says long distance isn't so bad, especially if you have an end date. I can get behind that. If it's an indefinite long distance thing, I think that would wear on your mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you if you know when it's going to end, you can. It works.
Yeah.
Max says, I've made a long distance relationship work for a long time. I was in Germany, and so he's going with that one. I like that.
Yeah.
And then I also heard from Jackson, who says Secret Admirer 100% feels like main character energy. Allie, what's your choice?
I think, I don't know. I feel like Secret Admirer might, in some scenarios, it could be cute or whatever, and it could be like, oh, that's so sweet, and it may end up in a relationship. Who knows? But also, I feel like in some scenarios, it could be unwanted, like unsolicited, and also a little creepy. So I don't know if I really would want that one. As much as I don't like the idea of a long distance relationship, I think that one just makes me feel better overall because it's like two consenting adults in a relationship, and it's like, you have full control over that. So, and not saying that secret admirers are all creepy. Certainly they're not. But I just feel like the secret aspect does throw me off a little bit, where it gets me a little uncomfy compared to like just being in a relationship, but it happens to be long distance. No. I don't want to have that, but I feel like it's something I would like more than the other.
You're right. For the secret admirer, the line between it being cute and creepy, it's very blurred.
Yes.
And it all probably a lot of times depends on eventually finding out who it is. And that really decides it. But also, like, to me, the secret admirer on the surface, it's like, oh, it'd be fun to have a little mystery to solve. Like, that would make life so interesting.
Sure, yeah.
But you're right. You could get to the end of it and it could be somebody you're totally not interested in at all. Or it could be, like, you also think about this, is secret admirer kind of a red flag thing? Because it's just like, if you like me, like,
Yeah, then tell me.
Yeah. Right. Have the confidence to just say something. Either like me or don't.
Yeah.
What is the secret admirer doing for either of us?
Right.
So I don't like that. I would not prefer a long distance relationship either. But between the two, that's definitely the way I would go. Maverick says long distance, if they're worth it, they're worth it. And it gives you an excuse to travel.
True.
Looking on the bright side.
As long as they live in a place you want to go to.
Yeah. But
I'd imagine if you're dating somebody, no matter where they are, you want to go
You'll
visit
find a
them.
reason.
Yes.
You'll find a reason, even if it kind of sucks. But, so I think long distance is the way to go.
Yeah, I'm more a fan of that.
How many successful relationships start off with a secret admirer?
I haven't heard of any.
Not many. Not many. Well, listen, no matter what kind of relationship you're in, speaking of Valentine's Day, it is our Bolt Valentine's sale at shop.radiou.com, our brand new Bolt tee. Again, no matter what your relationship status, we're sure you'll fall in love with that shirt. And it's only $10 at that price. How can you not?
Right?
That's like the cartoon wolf where his eyes pop out of his head. That kind of love.
Awooga!
Exactly. But that's this week only in the RadioU app and at shop.radiou.com. Check it out. I believe we talked about this guy not too long ago on the show. His name is James Howells. He's from the UK. He was, I believe, when we talked about him, suing, going back and forth with like the government in his town because years ago, before Bitcoin was really a thing, he had mined a bunch of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And it was on a hard drive. And he accidentally threw away the hard drive. And it wound up in the dump somewhere, of course.
Yep.
And he believes he can find it, but the government in his area will not let him search their dump to be able to find his Bitcoin drive that has like millions of dollars on it now.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. So he's come up with a new plan, is that he wants to now buy the entire trash dump so that he can have free reign to go through it as much as he wants. This is his new plan.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this story is just so insane to me. I mean, we talked about it, like you said, not too long ago, and we mentioned how crazy it is that this guy, accidentally threw away this hard drive. That's dumb. Yeah. Why did you do that?
Right.
But now, it's like he's been battling for like almost a decade to try and get this drive back. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how you would think that it would still be intact. The city says that this hard drive, if it is in there, is buried under 25,000 cubic metrics of waste and earth. So I don't know how you would think you're going to find it, first of all, because it's a needle in a haystack. And I don't know how you would think you're going to get it to the point where you actually would be able to access what's on that hard drive. Because isn't it not like compromised, crushed, destroyed?
It's
all the
been,
things.
Exposed to the elements and garbage.
Yeah.
For, what was this? Like, it was 2013 when he threw it away, right? This is over a decade.
Over
it's been
a
sitting
decade.
in there.
Yeah.
And you think a decade's worth of garbage, you're going to be able to go through it and find this thing. And then be able to, restore it so that you can actually access this Bitcoin that you supposedly have. Mind you also, how is he getting the money to go ahead and be able to buy this dump and then pay people to go through it?
Yeah.
Is somebody going to give him a loan on the the
off chance that they find it?
They're going to trust him so much that he's got people that are willing to bankroll this if he doesn't have the money himself. And if you do have the money yourself, then what do you need this Bitcoin hard drive for? I know there's a lot. It says it was $7 million worth at the time that he threw it away.
Yeah.
Accidentally. Which again, if you have something worth $7 million, you shouldn't be able to accidentally throw it away.
No.
This is like he's Captain Ahab. This is his Moby Dick. Like, you just got to move on. You're going to die in that trash dump one day. Is what's going to happen to him.
Yeah, unfortunately, that just feels like the end to that. So yeah, I feel like it's almost fool's gold.
Yeah.
At this point, I know it was real to you, and it was real, but it's almost like fool's gold because you don't even know if it's there.
Yeah.
You're not even sure.
You don't. Yeah. There's no think about just the time investment. It's already been 12 years.
Yeah.
How much time you would have to invest and how much money you'd have to invest to find this thing, and it may not, and that could all be a fool's errand.
Yep.
This guy needs to move on with his life.
Yes.
Move on. You've spent 12 years of your life. The time to sort this out was in like the first 6 months.
Yep.
You should have moved on a decade ago.
Absolutely.
We have the RadioU hotline open.
877-2-RADIO-U.
We're asking which couples from TV shows you think should not have been together. They should have broken up at some point. And lots of good answers coming in. Of course, Shrew says Ross and Rachel from Friends. But also kind of not. They're both kind of awful, so they sort of deserve each other. I feel like that's often the case. I guess in real life, too. But definitely on TV shows. Thomas says Howard and Bernadette on Big Bang Theory didn't make much sense to me.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Are you a Big Bang Theory fan?
I did watch it a little bit, but not like to the sense of like having much of an opinion on the relationships.
Regina, I feel like so many times, like we get to know the listeners. Regina often brings up How I Met Your Mother, and in this case, she says Robin and Barney on How I Met Your Mother should not have broken up, as Robin and Ted didn't belong together. It's Robin and Ted is the problem.
Yeah.
In How I Met Your Mother.
I know a lot of people had qualms with that, so yeah.
I think that's a good one. So here's my joke ones that I feel like that are so obvious that nobody can disagree with these, right?
Yeah.
And that is Hank and Peggy in King of the Hill.
Okay.
Peter and Lois in Family Guy.
Okay.
And Homer and Marge in The Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
All the adult animated shows. Why are those parents, or why are those, why are they together?
Right.
However, with the exception of Bob and Linda from Bob's Burgers,
I was going to say,
are the perfect couple.
They are if we were doing the reverse of this, the best couples on television, I would 100% pick Bob and Linda from Bob's Burgers.
Bob and Linda's relationship goals, 100%.
Yes, I love their relationship so much.
877-2-RADIO-U if you've got any more relationships, couples from TV shows that you think should not have been together or should have broken up. I want to hear more of these at 877-2-RADIO-U. Did you see Lindsay's?
Yeah, I agree with her. I know we weren't talking about like reality TV shows, but she brought up Sister Wives from TLC. That was definitely, it's polygamy. So in my opinion, yes, that should not have happened.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, 877-2-RADIO-U if you have any more TV show couples that you think should not have been together. We still haven't done ours.
Yep.
And I know mine will be controversial.
Okay.
To say the least.
I'm excited.
We'll get to that coming up. Radio U, where music is going. You can hit us up at 8772 Radio U. We're talking TV couples that you think should have broken up or even got divorced. I've been saving mine. Allie, you've saved yours. And we also have here Sparkle from after our show here on Radio U. You get to hear Sparkle. But Sparkle, do you have a TV couple that you think should have broken up?
Okay, I mean, how far back am I allowed to go?
As far as you want.
I mean, I'm going to say from Gossip Girl, I think Blair and Chuck were like the most toxic couple ever. And I feel like their back and forth was so bad that I mean, the drama was delicious, but I'm like, I hope that's not what people are modeling their life after. That was pretty bad.
Allie, was that yours too? She made a face.
That was one of mine, Sparkle. I picked two, and that was my top one because I also agree it's such a toxic relationship. And even though there are some cute, good moments for them, I feel overall it's a very toxic relationship because they're just toxic people.
They are. And, you know, I also, like, I'm all about rewatching older, because I didn't watch, like, Gilmore Girls or Gossip Girls when they came out because I was, like, A Boy Meets World, and then getting started on Dawson's Creek. Oh my gosh. But, or Roswell, which is also my favorite one. But I'm going to say, and this is like a hot take, I think any boy that Rory dated on Gilmore Girls was so bad. Gilmore Girls is like, that is like my Roman Empire. Sometimes I will die on this hill. That show is so bad. And they basically just glorify her being a brat, and she cheats on all her boyfriends. And honestly, like, even I know they tried to reboot it or whatever on Netflix, like, it is trash. It's pure garbage. I can't stand it.
But you watched the whole thing, though. It sounds like.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have to be, like, culturally, like, sound. Like, I want to know what I'm talking about. Honestly, I gave it the first two seasons, I was like, not so much. But I still thought she was a brat. Then the third season, my best friend, who's like, come on, you have to try it again. Like, it gets better. I was pushing through so we could, like, talk about it. Finally, I had, like, summit fever. I was like, I got to finish this. I was like, I got to see if she ever redeems herself. And she doesn't. And I think she is a brat. But I heard a theory that it's because I watched it when I was older. If I had watched it when I was younger, like when my friends had watched it when they were in their teenage years, that I wouldn't think she's such a brat. And because now I'm like, she's such a brat, like punish her, ground her. And so anyway, all the boyfriends she had, they honestly, who would date her? Like, no offense, Rory Stretch. Those are my two that I would die on.
Okay. Allie, how do you feel about the Gilmore Girls thing? Have you watched that?
I have watched a little bit of Gilmore Girls, and honestly, I completely agree.
All right. So we have two. I haven't watched either Gossip Girl or Gilmore Girls, but we have two complete unanimous agreements, apparently.
Yes.
Sparkle,
yes, so bad.
Hang tight because we got to get back, and Allie, you got to do yours.
Yes.
And I got to do mine, and Sparkle, you can rate our choices as well.
100%. I will.
We'll do that next on Radio U. Radio U, where music is going. We just can't get enough here of TV couples that should have broken up. This week, all about love with Valentine's Day, and our Bolt Tea is on sale for $10 at shop.radiou.com and on our Valentine's Day. But we're all about the drama and the people that should have broken up. And so we got a lot of people texting in with their thoughts. Sparkle got on here saying that Rory shouldn't have been with anybody on Gilmore Girls.
No. She's one of those people that should be single forever.
What's the couple from Gossip Girl?
Chuck and Blair.
Lots of agreements on that. But Allie, okay, you do yours, and Sparkle will rate it.
Okay. So I feel like this is really controversial because this is a couple that's very loved from this show. And I actually initially loved this couple when I first watched the show. But now looking back and thinking back in my adult brain, I'm like, this should never have happened. And that was Aria and Ezra from Pretty Little Liars. That was a teacher-student relationship.
That's messed up.
And it never should have happened. Ezra groomed Aria. It should not have happened. It was illegal behavior.
100%. Okay, I never watched Pretty Little Liars, but I do know that, and trash. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That is like, how in the world did they make that on TV and be like, those are really good things people should watch?
Right.
Was that back when the channel was called ABC Family too? Like that'd be messed up.
I don't remember if it was on ABC or if it was on CW.
Oh,
it's
CW.
one of those channels.
Yeah, and that might have been a CW show, which, those were like a little scandalous.
Yeah,
They do have those scandalous relationships in there.
They seem to be more problematic. All right, mine is much more not that obviously all of those shows are familiar to me, but I feel like mine is much more mainstream, but I also fear even more controversial.
Okay.
Jim and Pam from The Office.
I knew you were going to say that.
Jim and Pam. It's all wrong.
Okay.
Particularly Pam. Pam is wrong. Jim had it better with Karen.
Oh my gosh.
And he didn't give her a fair chance.
Whoa.
He didn't give her a fair chance. She moved from Scranton to Scranton to be with Jim, and he cast her aside. I'm glad she got a happy ending because she deserved better than Jim.
I actually read something because this is a hot take. I'm mids on The Office. I think it was a little, I go back and forth whether or not I really truly liked it.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, because once again, I watched it later. I watched it after it was all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with the Karen thing. She really got a bad shake, but I will say that it does do a good description of real life couple. I feel like when I watched Jim and Pam, it's real life. It's not like a movie version of it. So that's the only thing.
I agree, except if it was real life, they would have got divorced.
No.
Yes, they would have.
No.
Jim supported Pam through all of her flights of fancy. I want to go to art school. I want to go to be with the Michael Scott Paper Company. Okay, I want to do my sports business. No, Jim, you can't.
That's true. She was super unsupportive with that, and he had really good connections. That could have been a dream job. Yeah.
Now, Jim has issues, obviously, and again, the Karen thing, but just between the two of them, they're a mess. I guess it is nice that they find a way to make it work. Yes. But they shouldn't have.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad that they compromised and was really they loved each other, but they should have done it in the beginning. So
We don't really talk politics a lot here on Radio U, and I think that's for the best.
Yes.
But man, it's hard to not talk politics when Donald Trump, our president, talks about these things that you think, and every day he does this, that you never thought of as political until obviously it comes out of the president's mouth.
Yeah, and I still don't think these things are super political.
No.
They've been politicized, but I don't think they're super political. I think it's just he's commenting on everything right now.
Yeah, every day it's something. And in this case, we're talking about how he is promising to back plastic straws and ipso facto also get rid of paper straws. I love his quote on this, which is about the paper straws. These things don't work. I've had them many times, and on occasion they break. They explode. If something's hot, they don't last very long. Like a matter of minutes, sometimes a matter of seconds. It's a ridiculous situation.
And here's the thing, he's not wrong. The paper straw, I think, has long been realized to be a failure. It just does not work. It doesn't hold up, which makes sense. It's paper.
Yeah, I think, it's true. I understand the idea behind paper straws.
Yeah.
Because we make all types of other utensils or eating implements out of paper, but not really forks and knives.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't work. But straws, we have paper plates. Why can't we have paper cups? Why can't we have paper straws? But we've now experimented with this long enough, I think, to know the paper straws don't work. So instead, the other thing is in what actual practice does this come into, where Donald Trump, where he has any say, or what does he have to do with who's using paper or plastic straws or whatever? I guess there's some government areas where they get to choose what to buy.
Right,
so,
right.
From the president himself, they're saying it needs to be plastic. I feel like this doesn't go far enough.
Okay.
I feel like we just need to get rid of straws altogether. I'm anti-straw.
Yeah.
And that's a stance I've held for a long time.
And they do tell you straws, to suck on a straw or sip from a straw. It is unnatural for you to do that. And so it causes wrinkles or whatever at the corners of which I think people are probably a little too obsessive over that stuff now, where they're worried about wrinkles from every little thing and every little angle.
Have you seen the different kinds of straws that these would be the the reusable rubber ones or whatever.
Yeah.
But they make them in ways so that they like go over your mouth.
Yeah, so you don't have to suck on it. Yeah, I've seen that. I think that's going a little too far. I think I would just prefer if we don't have straws instead of like trying to come up with a way to make it better for your face or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, I think overall the sentiment on straws is very interesting. I mean, obviously I think for the most part people have believed that paper straws don't work. But yeah, the straw debate is a big one.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not the kind of, I guess when I say he hasn't gone far enough, I'm not the type of guy. I don't think we need to step in and say you can't have straws.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody needs to step in and say you can't have paper or plastic straws.
For sure.
If for some reason you really like paper straws, or maybe you just think that's the right thing to do, then I think that should be an option for you.
Absolutely.
But for me, I'm anti all straws. I find them lazy.
Oh.
And I find that okay, for coffee, right? Most people would never drink coffee through a straw.
Yeah.
The lid that works for coffee would work for every other drink. I don't know why it's limited to coffee, and that kills two birds with one stone. Or keeps two turtles alive with one lid, because you don't have to have any straws polluting anything, and yet everybody still gets to sip on their drink and not have to worry. I don't know why the coffee lid is limited to only coffee and hot drinks.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I think it would technically work for any liquid.
It would.
Any drink.
I'm a solutions-oriented guy, and that's my solution.
That's your solution.
Protect the environment if you want to protect it, and also not have to, worry. I don't know. I don't even know. What's the pro having straw argument? Like just straws in general.
I mean, I feel like for kids, you definitely probably still need lids and straws.
Yeah, or sippy cups.
Well, for kids older than just toddlers that are ready to graduate from sippy cups.
No, why don't we get rid of the stigma of sippy cups?
Technically, what you're using is a sippy cup.
You're never too old to not spill. I don't know why it's so. Oh, you're a baby. You have a sippy cup. No. I just don't want to break anything.
And this is why we have children that don't want to grow up. Because we're like, you can use your sippy cup until you're 10 years old.
As long as you need
little
to.
Jimmy.
I don't know why straws are more grown up. You're just too lazy to lift the drink all the way to your face. Why don't you grow up? Get some muscles. Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.